3, 2, 1.
Light 'em up.
I'm Paul.
Buck.
This is the Paul and Buck Show.
Hey, big Buckin deal. Okay, guys, we're back.
It's been a while.
Yep, been a while. Big Buckin deal, Paul and Buck. Yeah, it's been a minute. 6 months, whatever. But
6 months. I know you put some replays in there, some pre-recordings. I've got some recordings from some of the old school guys, Taylor guys and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I just,
we get that.
I haven't brought it in, but you guys are going to see some good stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I got video for them. Ray's been busy with his car.
Yeah, it's been
Getting stuff done. You took it out a few times, testing, right?
Yeah, we took it out a few times.
The 55, did you take it out to the...
Nostalgia?
Yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah, we took it out.
Yeah,
I went 2 rounds. I red light 3rd round, of course. But
man, I was at the dentist that Friday. And first thing they said, "You like nitrous?" I said, "Yes, I do."
the wrong
and
kind.
they put it in my freaking face. I was like, "I've never had it in my face." Woo, damn, what the hell is that?
That's the wrong kind of nitrous.
Oh, man. And then they were playing 80s music up on the TV. And I came back. I'll never hear some of that 80s music. I'll never see or hear that 80s music ever again because all I remember was pain. So every song that I remember from the 80s now, when it pops up, I'm going to be with like my mouth open and shit.
You can be high as a cat.
How much nitrous you want? Oh, and then it wasn't working? And then the damn bottle was popping. I was like, what the hell y'all doing back there? Y'all don't know how to hook it up? Let me hook it up for y'all. It was crazy. They were like, man.
Yeah, you're like, like, we're not coming back in.
For a little while, I was just inhaling oxygen. And I'm like, am I high yet? They're like, no, not yet. I'm like, damn.
It's gonna take a while.
I've never inhaled nitrous, man. I mean, I smelled it. It smells like shit when you're at the track. That's it.
Do it in the car.
Yeah,
If it leaks in the car,
the dentist grade has sulfur in it. It has sulfur in it. You know, not in racing does, not in sulfur. Anyway, but it's been a while, but we're catching up. We're gonna get back into the groove of things, hopefully. But you know, I still stay busy. You still stay busy.
So nostalgia was good for you. What'd you do? You just went exhibition, or they put you up prepared?
No, they run bracket. They run classes. They run I can't remember classes, but it's anyway. But yeah, I was running bracket. I mean, I was getting rusted out of it because I haven't bracket raced in forever. But I did pretty good, and then I went in a little bit too quick. I red lit. It's all good. I had fun. Right. But anyway, so car's been out. Been busy here at the shop. It's always busy, and busy with work.
There's some nice cars in here. I don't disclose the ones you got in there, but they're nice.
Yeah. There's some of them. Don't matter. Top
all
secret
these
now.
LS cars you got in there, nice.
There's a few LS cars, and I've done a lot of LS swaps here in the past 6 months. I've done like 2 of them. I'm working on a 3rd one, but anyway, with all that being said, so with this being back, we have a guest. He's been with us 3 times in the past.
We're gonna find out what he's been up to.
Yeah,
You've seen him on Facebook. You've seen
he's
his
been keeping kind of quiet. He's been.
There's
down
a bunch
low.
of underground stuff that when it does escape and hits media, you might catch him in a car, right? It's one of your cars. You never know. It's just lights. You can't see what kind of car it is, but you'll know if you'll know who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you'll hear his voice.
Yeah, he's been actually kind of low on the social media, but it's probably for good reason. He's just kind of recouping and rebuild his camp back up and getting his fleet back together.
Coming to the state.
Because shit's broke.
We got Chris Sievert, WFO, is in the house.
Well, Chris Sievert, WFO. So just give us insight from
what's going on? Where you been?
From if you would, you don't have to. You can say no, but from when you had your incident till now, what's been going on since then?
The incident being the crash.
Right.
I ain't done shit really.
You had to clarify.
That pretty much tore up everything. Really just been. I built a new shop.
Yeah.
So been working on that.
Oh shit.
Same place or a new shop somewhere else?
No, it's in Page. It's about 12 miles
Oh,
from the old shop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And picked up another car and just been working on trying to piece something together.
Now I've seen your truck. It's a really nice truck. It's a little mini tub Pro Scooter looking.
Oh, the maroon one.
Yeah. Is that your street truck?
I seen. I've seen you drive that. You drove that to track. You drive
Lone Star Roundup. Is that Lone Star Roundup kind of cruiser truck?
Right. That's what main deal was.
There was a guy that I don't know where they came from, man, but they had their cars parked behind where we normally park, and so I'm like, oh, that's a nice car, man. What do you got in there? And oh, we've got this and we've got that. We had a supercharger on it and stuff like that. And we're looking for a little, because my buddies had their street cars, parked there. They're quick street cars. we're looking for a little race. Maybe you could do a little bit of, if anybody does a little street racing out here. And I said, yeah, I know a guy. He's down the road. Yeah. I said, yeah, there's a guy down the road over there. I don't know if you ever know. His name's WFO. I can call him right now if you want, but real quick, they're like, nah. they just canceled it. They're like, no, nah, that's cool. We're just checking it out. I was like, well, I mean,
that's
it's over there.
That little truck is actually what I was thinking of putting us like LS.
That'd be nice.
The simplest shit in and it would be really cool to,
I mean, you can have fun. I mean, it's streetable, have fun, play with it, screw with people.
That's what I was figuring,
That would be nice.
So what kind of gear you got in the back? You got an overdrive or just like a...
It's just got a 9-inch in it. It's got like a 700R4 transmission.
Yeah, okay.
But it's got a tall tire, though.
Yeah.
It's a tall
it does
tire.
got a tall. It's a 31.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That probably runs good on the highway then.
Yeah, it runs
700R.
down
It
the road.
looks good. If you ever seen
I've seen it.
Good.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Something
it
I
just ain't
want
got no
to
power. It sounds like it's just making all kinds of power, but it's gutless as shit.
It's not the... what was his name with the... From Oklahoma, the white truck?
Oh, the
White Rhino.
The Rhino, yeah, the Rhino.
Runs.
Yeah. Now that one moved.
It might outrun that one.
No
No
comment. Oh man, I'll take a picture.
Shit. So cool. So you got you're getting some work done, and you just kind of recoup and get your shit together. But you are gonna be racing.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna be racing.
It'll probably be another month and a half or so. But like I said, the car is down at Greg Hubble's shop, and he's pretty much had to rebuild the whole car.
Is that did you say it was a Camaro or what
It
was
was alumina.
Oh, okay.
When I crashed it, but now we put a Monte Carlo body on it, steel roof and quarters, because it was all glass.
I thought you said you were building another car though. You had a
67.
You got 67
that one.
Camaro.
Yeah.
So but that's a long way or close? Or
No, it's all there. I just need to do some updates on it. It's got
Okay.
some old style struts.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of a death trap, really. But just because it's all old, she's got a Dana 60 rear end in it. I've got a 9-inch we can put in it.
Old
Just
school.
kind of update it, and it's super light because it's all chromoly. I think it'll be a fun car. It's a good looking car,
That would be one to get for strip, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think about a Dana 60 just being on the street, no prep? Just I've heard like a couple of guys up on the Discovery Channel that, oh man, look down there, it's a Dana 60, and I'm like, if it blows, good luck.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
The only real reason that I like to go with the 9 inches in case we break something,
Yeah,
I can
just
pull the
swap.
third member out, shove it in this one, provided we got
Yeah.
the
The thing
same
about a
axles and
Dana
shit,
60, they're strong, they're good.
They
That's like 60, 70s. That's
it's
heavy.
old
They're
school,
heavy.
it's old school.
They're heavy.
But
I
there's
mean,
guys
they're
that still
bulletproof.
pull them out, and they're like, it's under that Chevy too, and we had it in the 80s. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, they're good, but like I said, they're just heavy. You get like a
like
good
a toy boy, you break it.
You get a good, even a Ford 9-inch, which is
Yeah.
good. Then you got aftermarket. You can get a chrome moly light.
Yeah.
And then you got you can just change the intersection. Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, I don't see a lot of shit really hooking up and heavy enough that's gonna break one of them rear ends.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, everything's so light. People putting
Right.
glass pieces on it. If it was a tank, then you gotta start breaking stuff. But
That's a good point.
really, they're not. Especially if
You
there's
just
no
can't
prep
change,
racing.
but you can't change gears.
You
like,
can't do
you're
nothing. I mean, you're
stuck.
kind of hung
Yeah.
out there,
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I don't like being stuck.
Right.
It's good
All
to
that
have
tuning
go-
you got to do on the
move
street.
around,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever caught yourself where you got to like do maybe 3 gear changes and you're like, shit, I can't freaking.
I broke some shit, and once I got home, had Rob from this one
Yeah.
put in there, but not at the track. I ain't never had to.
You just
I have
gotta-
never been in that kind of bind because
Yeah.
I try to go racing and not. I don't like to go working on this. I try to have it
Right.
best we can.
Yeah.
When we get there,
Enjoy it.
and stuff happens, you break it, but I have in my head, it depends on how I feel and what breaks, whether I'm going to tackle it and, get burnt and all that shit, trying to get all this shit together, or if I'm just going to say, let's just load it up and watch the rest of the evening. And
Because
go home.
when you go to the nostalgia races, you got these old school guys out there. You'll see them pull
Well,
out the
quick change.
No, they'll pull out the 5-speed and start changing gears out right there.
They're old school.
I was like, God dang, what are y'all doing? Though we're getting ready for the next race.
But that's not a regular transmission. That's a high performance transmission.
It's
like a
what is
Richmond.
it right
One
back
top
there?
loaders.
Drop loader,
No, it's
TK,
a Richmond or a G-Force.
Trimic.
Yeah.
No, the one I saw was a Doug Nash.
Doug Nash.
But they had gear, dude. They had like a little barrel of just
Gears.
different gear sets. Yeah, they're just like, oh, it didn't work good in first gear. We're gonna. I'm like, damn, change the first gear out just like that. And try it again. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
But then when you see them go down the line, they're running the freaking. And then me being dumb, I'm like, so do y'all just freaking just take the clutch out and y'all just shit? They're like, nah, we put the clutch in. I'm like, damn, that is old school. But they'll pass by you, man, and they're just ding, 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 ding. It's like pretty badass.
The ones that are good at it, it's pretty cool because it's just you can tell they're just why they just I like it, but it's
you don't hear that RPM drop. It's just like so that
pro stock kind
and they're bad.
That's probably who we were watching.
There's
don't even know, right?
a guy that went to the nostalgia meet. Steve McNamara. You know Steve McNamara?
Yeah.
Well, he bought a dang nostalgia that Chevy 2.
And, I think I saw a picture.
He took it down nostalgia meet. I mean that track is just the nostalgia meet is good to a point because they're not gonna prep the track.
No.
I mean, and
well, you got slick.
So I run. Well, it's slick. A lot of them had slicks, but they don't prep the track. But so I would run radials, and radials is hippie. But Steve made a hit, and he a couple hits in that that it's a straight axle. Huh? It was 3 on the tree. It was a column shift. No, he had trouble getting down because that car was just. I mean, it's just RPM, and it's getting it, but. It was fun to watch, and those cars were fast.
Those guys like to run those 331s.
The high rev and small block.
301s.
But the nostalgia they got if you got that kind of racing and they go through they bring a gear change for the transmission. They're not no regular everyday like us.
These
they're
dudes not who was the guy that we interviewed here? What's his name? What's his dad?
Aston.
No, older.
The one that bought
the Mustang, 69 Mustang boy, boss.
We interviewed him before.
His dad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Richard.
No, damn man, I'm getting
old.
I mean,
that's what we
can hear. I can't remember.
You can't remember.
Sorry,
shit.
bro. Come kick my ass later.
No, I apologize.
His dad was badass back in the day, and so.
But they're professionals.
Son, this dude, he was out there at one of the last year's race, right?
Yeah,
and I said,
he was there this year.
Yeah, so we walked over there. I walked over to see him because he's got his Mustang there, and I seen him pass, and it was open headed. It was freaking running. And dude, he doesn't have a tent. He drove his car all the way from South Austin, drove it. It was like 100-degree weather. He had it. He just drove. With the cheater slicks, whatever that he had.
No, he would change his tires at the track, put the slicks on.
But he took his exhaust off right there. There was no tent. It was 100-degree freaking weather. I'm getting sick just smelling race gas. Ragsdale, there you go. And somebody wanted to meet him, and I said, yeah, he's somewhere around here. He's under his car in the middle of that little center where the island with all that muddy. And he was right there. He gets up, man. His freaking hairs everywhere. I'm like, this dude. That's what they did back in the day. It's like this doesn't even faze them, hardcore dudes, man.
Oh shit, we used to do that back when we were younger.
Wow.
I used to haul my Nova up there.
Yeah.
It had them N50s,
on
the back.
Yeah.
And my buddy had a cattle trailer.
I used to display in my room.
That's what we hauled it in. I had to take one tire off, so it fit in the cattle trailer.
That's fun.
Take there and unload it and put the tire on.
Them tires a little bit too wide, right?
Yeah. My Camaro, man, they used to stick out almost 4 inches.
Yeah, had the air shocks on the motherfucker.
Yeah. That's like I said. Back in the day, we used to put motors together on a Friday night and we'd be racing on that Saturday. And just don't even
bounce with the air shocks. Just keep on going, unsettle the shit. But anyway, so man, getting off the subject there. But so you just take off. So where are you from? Where you at right there? With the car being built.
So it's at the chassis shop, so it's getting updated on one, and then you're getting some much needed improvements on the other. But they're gonna be out this year, right?
No,
Okay.
You been out on the street lately over the last 6-8 months?
No, I hadn't been that. Really hadn't.
Observing, watching.
No, I don't.
What's the latest news? What's the latest news? Who's doing good?
Well, I went to the nostalgia deals.
Did you? Yeah.
So that's the only update you got.
The only thing I can say from here, he's probably been working on his shop. That's probably keeping him busy too, right?
That has been. Yeah, I've been really going over.
Did you get messed up with the hailstorm?
No.
That hit out there recently, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it sounded like it was loud as shit in there. I had it sprayed, insulated and stuff, and it was being.
You didn't get nothing come through.
No. But I just kind of went overboard on the shop, just getting it exactly like I've always wanted.
Yeah.
And,
what size is it?
It's 60 by 40.
Oh, okay, that's a good size.
Good size.
It's like 16 feet tall and stuff.
What's good enough for the lift?
Yeah, it's got a lift in it, and all the plugs and fans is in the ceiling. So
concrete.
went over.
Is it concrete?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. I can only imagine what concrete costs. But, I mean, hell.
Well, I tried quoting out a 60 by 40. I wanted to put it in the back of the house, and then I ran into permit issues. They don't want me to do that. That's basically what it was. But just to get that concrete out there, it was like 20 grand.
Yeah,
Had it been like 4 or 5 years ago, it would only been like maybe 7, 8 grand.
Yeah, I found some guys that they did this. It was 15 to do the slab on it, you know, and it had 8-inch beams and all that shit. So it was a good job.
So you had to go deep. You had to go.
Yeah,
you had to be deep. Yeah.
Trench it in, but I told them, I wanted it the way it's set up. I can pull in and my lifts like at an angle. Yeah. Office is at an angle, and then out the back door you could back out there, wash your car, whatever, do a burnout, and then I want to be able to launch that shit through the shop, so I know what it's gonna do 60 feet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's good thinking.
So if you bring me something, I know that I can tell you what your shit's gonna do in 61 feet.
Yeah.
After that, yon.
See, that makes sense. Oscar and Taylor, he's off the main street. He's got about that much length, 'cause that's what he wanted. Because I want to be able to do a little freaking test right there. So the whole side of his shop, you going down Main Street, he's got an open whole little side thing where you can, you
go open it up if you have to.
Goddamn transfer in there.
And then all in the driveway, I had asphalt millings, and I put that all out there, so it's nice and smooth, so you can come off the concrete on that and just back up or whatever.
With the trailer and everything, Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man, that's nice. That's why, like I said, if you're going to do it, you do it the way you want it, right?
I figure
only one time.
Time's passing us by, so I ain't like I'm going to be like, I'm going to do that when I grow up.
I'm already there.
10 years ago, you're doing wheelies, and then 10 years now, it's like, damn, I was just doing that yesterday.
Man. I hear you. Yeah. Well, let's know where your cars and, knowing you're going to be out, but let's talk about some of the, we were talking about earlier, like some of the events that are coming up, things that were happening now and compared to like 2 years ago.
Yeah, what do you think changed? What's changed?
Because like I said, and he can give an opinion, but, events now are good. There's big pots now.
Oh,
and
man,
there's pots that
people are actually not, it's not like it was 3-4 years ago where they're like, oh, this is coming back. Let's go check it out. Now they're just going.
Well, yeah.
I think right now, the little gangster shit is where you need to be.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's at the track. It's, you got controlled environment. You ain't running from the cops.
Right.
And the money is there. The boys are hustling that shit, getting the sponsors in there.
And they get it in there, man. They got big pots, man. God damn, I can't believe it.
That's where I'm headed. As soon as I get one of these fucking cars to start one of them deals.
Because what's some of the rules on those little gangsters? It's just real little, right? Just 28s and or 26s.
Run 530. I mean, they
so
fill me in on the rest.
As far as
here's what I run. What am I going to do?
As far as I know, it's a 530 cap.
Yeah.
And it's either 26 or 28. 28. Okay, based on 28.
Wait, that's just for everything? Just 530 cap?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the little gangsters.
Oh, okay.
I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 530.
It's a 530.
No, but the whole event is little gangsters. Those are the rules.
This is just this class.
Okay.
So they call this class little gangsters.
Right.
Yeah.
And the deal at Yellow Belly this weekend.
There you go. Yeah.
Is a 26-inch tire. I don't know that that's a little gangster. I don't know what they is, but I just know it's a 26.
I know that there's people coming from other states.
Oh, it's big.
That normally wouldn't come over.
You know why?
Yeah. The money, right?
They bring it in. It's like 10 grand to win.
Yeah, you see people from California outside, like, what are they doing here? They're traveling.
That's a long drive.
They're planning on making some money, I guess.
And Yellow Belly's like, ooh, yeah,
that's a funky track.
I don't know how it's gonna hold all those people, but it does. But
you ever had any kind of scary moments out there, Yellow Belly?
I've only been there once and broke the transmission in the burnout, so I ain't been back. It seemed cool, I kind of liked all the people on the line, I kind of dig that shit.
It's that little outlaw kind of like a vibe. I
thought it was neat as shit. I'd like to go back, but I haven't.
I'm sure you will. Like I said, if they're going to do these little gangsters,
and that seems to be like where they really originated from.
Right. Yeah. So it's probably going to go there a couple of times this year. Yeah. So just to feel you, so little gangsters is like I said, it's a 530 cap.
Right.
It's a 28. It's got to be a door car, and there's like some other small little rules. There's not a lot of rules. There's no weight limit. It doesn't matter just as long as it's got 28s and it's got doors and if you run the 530.
Don't matter if it's all steel, fracture.
I don't give a fuck.
No, I don't.
Take off the front end.
I don't know if it could be glass, and
I don't think so, but
I think I have seen where it's on some you have to have a front end. I think that's part of
Yeah,
the tax.
yeah,
They want full body cars.
I'm starting to
They
see a
don't want
bunch of cars with no front end.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you just forget? Did not enough time? I'm like,
They'll tell you that it's just so they can work on them between rounds easier, which it is easier. But I mean,
Yeah, there's some other rules.
It's too hard.
that's the case. I'll bring a 32 Ford. What is how much though? Like 1,500 pounds and.
Yeah, and yeah, so I liked what we talked about because like I said, that is the thing, and there's more classes now that has money, little gangster especially, but compared to like 2 years ago, this is more like a no prep. That's kind of I don't know if it's there. They still do. Tamayo still does this top end thing, I guess.
Right, and that's been growing. I mean, that's
got his own platform.
It's been really good.
And I like because he's added. He's not excluding people. He's got like
he hustles any whatever
all-wheel drive.
The reason why I like that event, because most of these guys, they're street cars. They're still. I mean, they're badass, but. They're street cars, and they go in there, and then they're like, "Whoa! You never would have thought that car was that quick." And then some of them kind of leak into what we were talking about, and you're like, "Shit! They're keeping up with even the
full-blown race cars."
Yeah. And I like he's going outside the box. He's like, got to be inspected to run this class or whatever.
He hustles it, and he enforces a lot of shit. Checks the draggies.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been a real good deal. I'm glad he's been doing it at that track, which is
he's stuck with
keeping it all, more people we can get going.
Yeah,
the track keeps lights on.
Keep it close, close to home.
Because that's the only damn track we got around here. It doesn't look like F1 wants to put something anytime soon.
There's rumors about that. I don't know what the fuck that's going on. But
nothing, right? Ain't no development. It'd be nice.
I just don't see how they could because there's too many houses around there. I don't know about Dakota, but. They're building a big old amusement park there. I don't know why.
Seriously?
Some shit.
In the event area?
Yeah, like in the park, and they got a big old roller coaster. They're building like a big old amusement park there.
I'm not into the roller coaster bullshit.
I don't know. It's weird.
I'm just good luck for you. I'm not gonna go.
Like I said, I mean it draws people, but like I said, I don't see them. I don't see them having a racetrack like they're talking to.
Yeah. Nah, people, man. When people go up to those events, people get choppered in from Round Rock and Georgetown, and they get dropped off over there. It's not Little River, it's like you probably wouldn't even get in, unless you spend some cash.
When they closed Houston, Baytown, that kind of opened the door because there was NHRA has these rules you can't have an NHRA track within whatever or the national event, whatever. So I was like, well maybe they will come to Austin, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But it is what it is, but like I said, so
we like our park.
Yeah, Little River's still there, so as long as it's still going strong, we will support it.
I like that they did change up the tower, man.
All of it.
Oh yeah,
upgraded.
They put containers.
Yeah.
And they put the wall
bleachers, the covered area. Where
Seriously, it's covered now.
Wow. Oh yeah, they put they put like pop up it's nice. I mean, Mike's doing a good job, and hopefully they can continue. I know they will, but like I said, I'll continue to support it. We're going to go out there.
So you're tweaking your rides for that specific class.
Specifically, the little gangster deal is what we're shooting for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If there was wherever the money's at, that's where we're going to go.
So the pot's bigger than that.
The pot is a lot bigger.
Dude, big that little class. You think a 530 cap?
I mean, it's a gunfight in there too.
At what time do they start it in the day now? Because if it's more cars, I mean, it'll be up to
they'll run all day. I'm sure.
4 o'clock in the morning again, or no?
I mean, you know how racing is. It may go till all night.
The next day,
it doesn't matter. I mean, once you're in there racing, if you're making rounds, and it really doesn't matter. I mean, it sucks for the spectators, but it's just the way it goes. I don't know as far as
and I guess it's the Jimmy Dale, Tommy Gunner, whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got a lot of sponsors. He got Strange. He got. I mean, he got.
I guess the deal with that is to have two names, and then you just get all kinds of.
Yeah. He's got like an alias and his real name, and then he's pulling stuff in. But hey, man,
whatever works.
Applaud for him, man. Hey, it's making a comeback. You don't have to go kill your shit and run a 450. You can run a fucking 530. I mean, and the money's there just as big as a fast class. So it's good. Yeah. I like it.
I do too.
Yeah. So.
How do you slow it down with your foot to get that class? These cars are fast as hell. Everybody's going to be under the 530.
Yeah, I mean, now it's not the easiest place to win money.
Right.
There's a lot of money, So I mean, that just comes into your
and I wouldn't see people. I could be wrong, but I don't see people sandbagging. But I see people got a tune where they can either go in all out and be dead on, or just catch a light and maybe kind of fuck with them at the top end or something. But
so are you carbureted or you fuel injected now?
Carbureted. So we've got one car. We've got a sheet metal intake with two dominators on it. The other one, the other one's got a blower motor.
But you've always been grassroots feeling by your foot.
I still got the grid. I don't have traction control and all that shit. I mean, I got the basic.
You just know where you're at when you're running.
Basic shit, yeah. And I mean,
sometimes if it works, it works, man.
I can, I've gotten real good on my computer.
Yeah.
So I can pretty much dial that shit in.
But can you feel where you're at in the in the dial in? Can you feel that? Do you know your car that good that you're like, this is where I need to?
Well, I mean, if this 530 deal, when I go to them, the car's gonna be set to run at 530. Okay. I'll have it dialed in where I know guts, feathers, and all.
You're just gonna sit in it and ain't gonna.
All you got to do is just go.
If I'm
change your launch, change your shift points, and you can run all out, but run at 530.
Yeah, I've never had luck at trying to hit the brakes or trying to fender somebody out.
Yeah,
It gets me every time.
Bites you in the ass every time.
Every time, man. I mean,
yep.
My best deal is just
let the motor run.
And
let the car run.
But if you test, you just got to constantly test. Testing.
I like watching the Tamayo stuff because at the end they're like, man, if they catch you with a lift or something, it was there. It goes wrong. Yeah. The whole thing after that goes wrong. Everybody's gonna.
I heard that motor.
We've seen that shit. It's on the camera replay. It's like a week later, right? The winner comes out or something, and it's funny. But I like watching it. It's fun.
Like I said, it makes it interesting. That's why it's cool. But like I said, the 530, it's all about a tune. You get a tune grid. You can do a lot of shit with grid. You can knock retard out and then put it back in.
So you use the draggy? You use the draggy to check your stuff
on some of Tomato's classes,
No, but I mean just in testing.
Oh, yeah.
The draggies are pretty close. Yeah. Draggies are pretty.
Especially now, I mean, they're really sponsoring the shit out of it. I mean, you're seeing it on every other click on social media.
Yeah, they're pretty accurate. They're pretty dead on. Within a couple numbers, but
it's certainly close enough to tune by it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing some street, you can do some street. You gotta get where you need to be.
That's a good way to set your car up.
Do they still doing a lot of cash days around here? I mean, I don't know. I mean, because I know they do stuff in Dallas.
I'm gonna just wing it and say no.
Yeah.
Because they, I don't know why. I don't know because of why, but they just
maybe
they have some street racing, but it's not the cash days like the old school deals.
Yeah.
You can forget it. You don't get no more invites. It's just like everybody's putting on a race. So it's like you can street race every weekend.
You'll find a race every weekend.
Oh yeah, damn. Easily because somebody's putting one on.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they've got it so hot. It's just like fuck. You don't know. Wow. You never. It doesn't seem. It's very rare that you start a race and finish it at one spot.
Yeah, I know, man.
And that's where you start beating up your truck and trailer and your car. You got to go across town. It's never just around the corner of the next street.
Is it a different species every time you go somewhere? Different type of car, seeing a different type of.
Sometimes, but it seems like what I've been seeing it's about the same group, and you've got pretty much the same group that are dominant in it.
Yeah.
They got their tuners that are just tune their cars for them, and they just drive them down through there.
Because it used to be the fast street cars they used to run, and then there was you guys that would come out and then have that. That's the shit that everybody was really running. So did the little class with all these street cars that are always freaking.
Now all them little street cars are tube chassis cars, and they done had enough of that shit. You go up out there without it.
They want to go up in range.
Yeah, you got to have a tube chassis car to even
lightweight.
Yeah.
Because I know when you showed up a long time ago,
I used to run.
They didn't know what the fuck
now
was going on.
I'm like, I just try to go to concession stand and shit. Don't even come talk to me.
He want to come. He goes, "Want to come video me? I'm gonna freaking put it to these street cars." And that's changed. All of that changed.
Yeah, it's all different. No, and you're right. Yeah, it's light, big power. I mean, that's basically what it is now. But even when we went out, I went out and watched on New Year's this last year. They started in San Marcos.
Yeah.
And they went like 2 cars or 3 cars the first round, Caltrans them off, and they went somewhere and in East Austin. They didn't even unload the cops because and then hell, by that's 3 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
They only ran like 4 cars, and then they ended up running somewhere over here.
Yeah.
By Samsung. And but yeah, it's unload your car, load it back up, then you got to go here. And then
I guess it was last June.
Yeah.
They had their. I guess it was a cash day. We got an invite to go, and in the finals, there was cops parked at the end of the road. We waited, and they were just like, I don't know what they were doing. They just paperwork or beating their meat or whatever. So we ended up. I raced a friend of mine. He's got a turbo car, which is quiet.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
So we pushed the Camaro down to the line, pushed it into the water box, and then I fired up.
Oh, yeah.
And we just sent them right down through there towards the cops,
Yeah.
And they didn't get us, but we was fortunate enough to win that deal.
Oh,
and
okay.
we just loaded up and
Hot ass.
split. But
I know. Sometimes the cops, they don't. I mean,
they're cool.
They're
Sometimes
cool. They don't
they
give. I mean, they don't give. They're
They'll
just there
bother.
doing. They're just running you off because you got to do their job, and then they're not gonna arrest nobody.
that streetcar takeover shit where they doing all that shit, they have fucked it all up.
Oh,
Because
I
over
remember
here
we talked about it. And they're like, man, the cops.
That's not a street race. Those are dipshits.
dumb shit.
Because they label them street race.
They're
We
killing
used
each
to
other.
get test where y'all came that one night over here by the
Yeah,
door
when you go,
Texas.
yeah.
The cops would come there and they would just chill.
Yeah.
And
They drove by twice that night.
the last time I was there, they come in there and they were like, "We can't let y'all do this and enforce them on them guys." So they really screwed it all up for everybody.
They did.
And I get it.
Yeah.
I get that. You can't be like, "Hey, y'all can't do that," but y'all let us do this, even though we're not doing the same thing.
We're not fucking with
I
nobody.
get it, but
No, I
it's
hear
just
you,
like, they
yeah,
just don't
they
get
did
it.
fuck it
They're
up.
running over people and
Well,
stopping traffic.
they were bringing fireworks. They freaking
Yeah, I mean,
they were running up to the car. They were doing it on Lamar and Barton Springs. That's the one that caught light, and they were intentionally doing it. But it went all over social media that they were going to be there, and then all these cops were being defunded and all that shit. They couldn't get there on time, and they were making a spectacle, man, of and people got pissed off.
Yeah.
So I guess it got to the governor, and the governor says, you know what? From now on, he just changed the law, and he says this is what's going to happen if anybody gets caught up on the street.
Felony, whatever.
Yeah, and so I'm like, well, there goes your spot.
Yeah.
See what the DP is going to say next time they pass by you, because
like
they did,
that,
obviously, right?
Yeah, that night when we were there, they were like came by twice.
Yeah, they didn't care. They were just like, oh, they're doing their own shit.
But since then, that shit's been
So is it still? You
bad.
think it's still pretty bad now because of that? Still, or they're still trying to enforce everything?
I mean, they're
there are probably a lot of cops know the spots too.
Yeah, they know the spots now.
They know
They've
the
got it
spots
all
now.
down.
So,
running out of.
I mean, if I was a cop, I wouldn't be having it. Because I know all the spots. And,
Shit, here comes Chris.
And y'all ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
Some of them are cool. It just depends, but like I tell them, let's don't rub it in their face.
Right.
I mean, they have a job to do. And, and if we're
That's
being
true.
disrespectful by still trying to race and stuff right in their face, it's just, I mean, what do you expect them to say?
They're gonna,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it made it bad for everybody, not just for.
Well, the other thing is, a lot of those cars are stolen, so people are getting their vehicles stolen just to go do that.
And they get caught on fire, they burn that bitch.
Burn them down, and you think you're like, man, these guys are stupid ruining their cars. Man, it's somebody's stolen car from the other day.
Yeah.
Or they keep it in the garage until they're ready to go and do it. There was a quick story somewhere going on that these guys went into this dude's house like at 2-3 in the morning, and they were trying to steal his van, and he heard it all, but he came out with loaded, ready to. They ran off, man. They already had like I guess what was it, a BMW or something like that? They were driving or something. They ran off. They couldn't steal the Corvette after all.
Didn't know how to drive a manual, so it stole.
Of course, yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah.
If y'all gotta go cases something to steal, make sure it's an automatic.
Check it out. We're gonna do this at the takeover. Oh shit! Who knows how to drive?
That is the death deterrent. Is a
Now, people are getting they're filming. They get freaking hit. They fly. They land. They get stuck under a car. The baddest one was these girls were on the side of I guess it was a Dodge Charger or something, doing a big old donut, man. This dude just going, he's like, fuck it, bam! He just hit the hell out of them, and I don't know what happened to the girls, but they just went from standing on the window to disappear.
No, they went flying in the sky.
They went flying in the sky because I mean the dude hit them and
I
like
seen them hit. Boom,
yeah, they're just gone. See you later.
Yeah,
So it's
that you play stupid games, you get.
damn, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
But people are getting pissed off, man. They don't want to see that stuff.
Well, like I said, all in which it appreciates even more that if everything's at the track now. So if they got good money pot at the track, because cash days, it's sometimes good pot, but you're getting what's paid in.
Yeah.
If you got 8 cars or whatever, then it's
well, no, that'd be down.
now you got
Audience can
10
go
grand.
see you. Audience can go see the race. They can see the cars. It's a little safer. Your
So,
car
I mean,
ain't gonna get messed up.
It's a win-win. Like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you may go see some street action. If time comes around, I'm sure. But
Won't hit no telephone signs or stop signs.
Any of them signs.
Whoever those motherfuckers are, right?
No. But like I said, there'll be some street action. I'm sure you probably go see it. And like I said, but overall, if they continue to have events at Yellow Belly, Little River, Extra P's got some good stuff going on.
That's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Little Gangsters deal. But
I like
I said, definitely going to go to the street because there's money out there.
Yeah, there's
buy
money
tires and shit out there, and
yeah.
it's easy pickings, because
But they know you so well. How can you get a race?
Oh, they all got big heads. They think they're fast.
Yeah.
They're not, I mean, I've been watching. They leave slow as shit. They all turbo shit. None of them leave hard like nitrous cars.
Yeah.
And even when we go to turbos, I'm gonna leave hard, and maybe I'm not seeing, or maybe I'm wrong, but
you gotta go.
Like I tell them all the time, if the motherfucker ain't next to me in 80 feet, he will not catch me.
Right.
And I make that car leave as hard as we can all the time, and I figure they'll pick up on it and be like, hey man, we gotta leave harder. But they're still, you watch the back tire and they just roll them out there.
Well, am I wrong? All these turbo guys, they're preset, so they just floor it. I mean, they just put it to the metal, and if it loses, the computer backs it out.
Oh yeah, they got the traction control.
Because I know if you let go off the gas, you done messed up the whole.
Yeah, your minimum
system. I don't know what they're all doing in there, but I'm assuming that they're not drivers. They're steerers.
No, right.
They just steer them down through there. If anything happens, you can forget it because they don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. So they definitely are just holding it to the floor and hoping for the best.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like I'm saying, you can feel it on your foot.
I can feel
your
that
motor.
Car before
you become your motor, right?
Yeah, before it fucking. I can tell when it's about to knock tire off. Sometimes we'll be testing. I'll be like, "Damn, it knocked tire off," and Mike will be like, "Nah." I'll be like, "What? You sure?" And he's like, "No, I didn't knock it off." I said, "Well, fuck, that's my bad." Then
There goes. Must have been a clutch in the transmission. Damn.
Call Rick.
Some rattling.
Shit's slipping.
I'm fucking some shit up. I don't know. They said I'm not slipping. So.
Some rattling.
Damn.
Yeah.
Didn't that something happen like the transmission?
Oh
came
yeah,
back? Damn transmission was right there on the damn table.
Yeah,
like, what?
it got sick. It got high gear, but you can feel it. I mean, you're right. There's something. It's either clad in the tires or something's not right. Something's slipping.
Or had Rick put them dual stage dumps in the transmission. Now that took a little bit to get used to because it's actually slipping the transmission, and you'll think that it's just smoking the tire back
and
there.
it's not.
It's not.
Them dump valves are. If you know how to tune them, that's the shit. It intentionally slips the trans or the converter. It does something to the fluid.
Bypasses it.
Bypasses it, and then. But yeah, you're right. It's like it's RPMing, but hell, it's not smoking.
I could swear that it's smoking a tire. It's not.
I had an issue once with a 4L60 before I got it rebuilt. I used to always smoke second gear. Even on drag race on the street, I'm like, see, man, car freaking. If I let off a little bit, it hooks and it's gone. And then after a while, I look back and it's not smoking, man. It was actually the clutches. The band was going out, and I was like, oh man. But now that's what the dump. You can work some. That's another tuning.
That's a whole tuning thing. Yeah, that's another tuning aspect that people take into play. But you need some people, like, if you don't have like EFI, some people got like timers, or you can time how the solenoids dump.
Yeah.
But like on the Hollies, you can do all that in the Holly.
On the computer, right?
You can do it on the computer, but
it's
a tuning aspect. Like I said, it's
another tool.
Another tool. Yeah, it's a tool there that if you had to.
That's something else you got to learn on a damn computer. I just don't like mess.
Because if you got a tight track, you don't have to worry about shit. It's just when you get to those tricky tracks or no prep, then that's what you're fucking with.
Yeah, my dump deal's got the leash.
Oh, that leash timer,
So, it's a handheld deal.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
I've even
all.
got one of them ARC modules in the car for the traction control.
For the MSD, yeah.
And I ain't never even. It's all hooked up, but I ain't never used it because.
So it's either that or the transmission.
Now, that's a whole different thing
That's
too.
a whole different deal. Because you gotta. Well,
yeah.
I understand. You gotta make a clean pass.
Yeah.
And then that builds you a file or
Yeah.
a line,
Yeah.
and then you work off of that
Yeah.
line. Well, fuck me, man, because I'm trying to get the clean pass line down, and it's all jacked up.
And
So I've never even used it. And it's like
It's a trick because you get one good clean pass and you export that file or that RPM or that dry shaft line over, and then you export. Then you try to plot it.
I see him doing that at the track every day. I'm like, what are you doing now? And you see him playing with looking at. I'm like, what are you doing again? And
I tune a car that does that, and dude, we did it one time, and shit, it'll fucking
smooth.
It'll start learning after that. It won't learn, but it'll keep it within like a couple of hundred RPM. And does it work? It all comes down to the resolution of your collar, right? So if you got an 8 magnet collar, if you got a 16 or 32, that's even better, right?
Yeah.
More resolution.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got it there, but it's a whole different. You got to collect that data, and you got to learn how to.
So what was easier, just to mess with the transmission and just.
The good thing.
I just never.
The good thing about the grid too is that you got launch retard. You can do a little.
I can kill it off with that launch retard.
That's a tool. That's good.
That is a tool.
It'll work. It'll work. It'll do what you want it to do. Take a little power out, but. So I like the old school, and not a lot of people are out there that do that. And if you're even making some wins, that's even better. But so I do like that. I wanted to talk about the 2025 season. You're gonna come out. You're gonna make some hits. You can do little gangsters, which is again.
That's to go see,
dude. That's. I guarantee you, there's probably going to be every bit of 60 cars at every race that's going to come. Dude,
it's not going to be an easy.
I guarantee you, it's going to be
for easy wins for sure. It's going to be.
But it's
and everybody's hit. They're coming to Yellow Belly
this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah. But I seen they got some races in West Texas or something that they did a little gangster there or
Abilene,
Amarillo
or somewhere. Over San Angelo. They got a new track out there.
I heard about.
Yeah, so I've heard that they did one there like last month.
I have a buddy that lives down there. He says, "Hey, they're building a big ass."
Yeah, and so it's coming, it's going, and it's probably gonna be everywhere. I mean, I guarantee it's gonna be everywhere.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, put the money up. The racers are going to come.
They're going to come,
you
man.
get the spectators there.
So
it's a good show.
So I guess to put a plug in, who's running that show?
I think Jimmy Dale.
Jimmy Dale
is a big. I think he's the starter of it.
Yeah, he was one of the originators. Now, when you go down to the real cap racing, there's some other cap racing, but he's the one that bought it to the mainstream. He's the one that bought the sponsors, and
because that's why people are coming.
He's the cap man, and he runs it. I mean, he runs it. I mean, he got a car that he runs in it, and he's pretty deadly.
Which car is that one that he has?
Michael Jackson or something. Mustang,
Yeah. I've seen that. I was like, Michael Jackson.
I don't think that's his name.
Somebody called him Michael Jackson.
It's something. That. It's a brown 4i Mustang.
Yeah.
It's something like chocolate some shit. I don't know. Man. I'm sorry. I don't want to fuck.
Chocolate starfish.
Yeah, some shit. But it's a 4i Mustang. It's a
damn Ford.
He came to Little River. They came.
Yeah,
to Little
they
River
all came to the while back. They were all popping wheels and all that.
In January. That's when the AV boys.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Those guys came over here.
They were down there at Little River. So
I think he won that deal.
He did. He did. He
so he's the one, and props.
Yeah.
But it's gonna blow up, man, and even like other cap racing, it's coming. It's gonna be there. I mean, I'll just give a shout out to Kenneth and Bar None Fade All. That he's doing the thing. It's gonna be big.
10th year on it. It's bigger and bigger. And
we've got.
It's getting bigger and bigger. So
we got Boogie coming. He's gonna talk about that. Hopefully, we can get him on here on Saturday, and we're gonna talk about that event. So I did get him lined up to come in and
so that's another thing. So what I was saying about the originator of a cap. It's been there. But Jimmy Dale, he just brought it to another level. But
fine-tuned a few things.
And like Kenneth, they got the 10th year, Bar None Fade All, Little River.
That's just straight the old school grudge racing. What I like.
That's
you go there, you may only see 3 races, but they're gonna argue for 3 hours.
And I'm used to that since I was like 17 years old. Man, you just standing there, you just eating popcorn in the back, just like shit. This is gonna get down, and then finally, about an hour later, they finally line up and
Shit.
You realize
Sometimes
someone was talking shit the whole
they
day.
can-
The car didn't even
it's
run.
like, God
All that for the car broke? Really?
Like
Just talking, it broke?
you remember when Atomic Dog used to say that?
Yeah.
He would talk, and he would pull his car up, Atomic Dog, and then
There
back
was
right
one
back.
time-
Wouldn't he make a hit all night? Like he's like, oh,
Tommy,
yeah.
I ain't talking
Nah,
about
no,
you.
I'm
but
not talking about you. I'm just saying for an example.
There was one time it's on video.
Sometimes you gotta bluff.
You were there. You were there. They finally got you going, and I think it was like a '80s Corvette. It was black, badass looking, pro mod.
Tracy head.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy.
And I don't know what happened, man, but the motherfucker took off backwards on the
yeah.
line, and he stopped it. So I guess it cost him the race, but the whole pre going to that was just
hype.
That was even better than just watching the race go
Better
down.
than running over three
Yeah,
days
yeah,
backwards.
Yeah. Because
That didn't
I
matter.
mean,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you had a. Well, I don't think he was running King Arthur, but King Arthur is another show to watch. There
He's
was
got that
one.
orange car.
Yeah. He had that, and he was running the turbo guy. What's his name from mail order tuner?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Casey.
Yeah,
Man.
Casey Ranch.
Oh.
They freaking went off for a long, and they finally lined up, and that little tire car just went whoop.
Oh yeah, Casey.
And that
yeah.
Pro Mod damn Z28, what's his name? It moved. That car was moving.
Yeah, it
but,
was
It's
like an
it's hit or miss
84.
that car. I've seen it
yeah.
just haul ass and be like, oh shit, and then I've seen it just might as well be in reverse.
Damn.
You know, it can go either way. with
Yeah,
it.
But
yeah.
those are the characters to
Yeah.
not Trey, but King Arthur. Those guys whenever he brings his entourage,
Yeah, they
those
talk
are the guys to
loud
watch
trash,
because
yeah.
it's gonna be all fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to say it's just for the camera, really.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean, that's part of it. Just
I like it.
yeah,
That's part of Little
hype it
River.
up,
It's
you know?
always been Little River like that. You know, for a long.
Yeah, and going back to like Bar None Fade All is that you got a Friday night race.
Mm-hmm.
You got some Friday night races going on, shit talking, and you got the Saturday race, which is the big event, and it's just
You can get action from the start to the finish.
oh, dude,
Oh,
all
man.
weekend, man, all weekend. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a blast. So I think I want to say June 6th and 7th, Little River this year. I think that's when it is.
Yeah, June. We'll
June
get
6th or
more,
7th. But yeah,
bring
we'll
up
get some more
put the
details.
flyer up.
But yeah, just going like just class race. So that's always the race we always look forward to,
Mm-hmm.
the river. And then I think he has one in August, which sometimes too
It's those
fucking
big
hot.
dogs that show up, man. You just want to watch them because you don't see them for a long time, and then they just show up, and you're like, oh
Then,
shit.
then you
They
got the
something faster.
yeah,
like
yeah.
damn.
So
I can't afford
and hey man, and I want to also put a shot. So was it last year or 2 years ago when TJ from Motorplex came down and prepped the track?
Oh,
So TJ he passed away.
did he? Oh, that's right. He
Yeah.
did.
So but I just want to give a shout out, rest in peace. But
Right, rest in
but
peace,
so
man.
when he came to Little River and he prepped that race, I want to say it's 2 years ago. That night when he there was the track record was broken that
Yeah,
night.
it was. Was that the one night that got foggy and it was all cold? And
I don't think so. I don't think it might have got foggy because it's June. It probably got a lot of mist on it. But
Yeah.
But anyway, TJ, he came down with
prepped
to Kinless Race and prepped it, and yeah, they broke a record that night. So yeah, so it's unfortunate. Casey.
you're talking about he was in his trailer or something like that.
Yeah, there was a
that
tornado
was
went
man.
through there. But anyway, so that's just a bad deal, and pray for his family. But anyway, just want to mention that. But yeah, God dang it, Rick Hilton. He's the one that he's the one that broke that record that night, and I don't know what I kind of know what it is, but I don't like to say nothing. But it's no secret. I mean, fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, I want to say it was like a 40 or 30 or something, but
Damn.
or 50. I don't know, but
Yeah.
anyway.
A friend of mine that partners with these cars,
Yeah.
Richard Holt, he's got he's having a car built that's a badass car, and he just picked up one out of California.
Oh shit.
And I said that I'm gonna set the track record. That track record needs to be mine. The car is capable of it.
Gotcha.
You want it under your belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Mike that I'm gonna set the track record.
It's
this
got to
year,
be.
but
It's got to be one of those nights where it's prepped. It's got to be.
You putting
perfect.
your motor in it, or
no,
it
it's
comes
already,
with the motor?
It's
Pro
already,
charge?
Yeah, we've already got it, and
Oh
it's
shit!
a bad dude.
Big block car or something?
No,
That big
it's
fucking Hemi.
It's no. It's
Pro line,
It's like
what the
he
hell
hit
is that?
LS shit.
Oh
you know?
yeah, man. Those
It's
heads are.
It's a super. It's a super big pile of shit that I don't know nothing about any of it. You know,
You just wanna
but I
drive
just
it.
know the numbers it runs.
Let's
And
go.
that's why I told Mike. I said I need that track record.
You just want to release the button.
Well, you let us know when that happens, and we need to follow that.
You just need a shift light, or not even the shift
light. Shit, you don't just.
I don't need shit.
You just hold the button.
Just get out there. Hold the button.
Damn.
All you gotta do. Everything. Let the computer do everything else. I'm sure it's got some control on that.
From back when Tracy had that shit up there, I'm always like,
one
day I want that. You know, I mean,
yeah.
I figure it's like it's my house, so I need to have that.
Yeah.
At least if I, Rick, I'm sure roll right up in there behind me and knock it out. But at least for 5 minutes, I had that motherfucker. But this is the one time that I've got a partner that he's capable enough to, we have the equipment to do it.
He believes in WFO.
Yeah, he's
back up.
I like he backs you up, so that can't.
The Lumina, was actually his car, and he would totally, trust me to come get it and take it to the big tire, one of the big tire races. And I told him, I went and looked at the car at the shop. I said, I can win with this car. He said, I hear that all the time. I won with that car every time I took it out, except the night that I crashed. And I won that race, but we wanted the car up.
Explain a little bit what went on with the race. And you tagged the wall, or you crashed the wall?
When I crashed the car, I had it was a street race on 28s, and the whole crash was my fault. I put a 28-inch tire on a 14-inch rim that didn't have double beadlocks, so I screwed it on there, and it was empty. But I went to one of the streets up there on the way to the driver's meeting and made 2 hits, and they were 2 good hits. And the second hit they said was the fastest that been on that street with no issues. So we're going to go to the driver's meeting. We pair up in first round, and the car just went down through there smooth, no problem at all. And then just a foot after the finish line, I'd say, it blew the driver rear tire out. But when it did, it turned me facing the other way. Now we're going backwards at 150, and this car is running straight into me. And he hit me head on, and it wadded us both up and stuck us in the grass out there. And I didn't know what had happened until I got the car home, looking it over, watching videos. In the video I could see going out there, and boom, you hear the tire blow out.
Did it knock you out?
No, it didn't knock me out. No. But I didn't. On the way home, I ain't gonna lie, I was contemplating whether I wanted to street race anymore.
Right.
Because I didn't know why the car turned around.
Because you're like 32 years old now. I mean,
Who?
You.
Man, I wish.
We'll
leave it at that,
But shit, man, you got your shit shaked, man.
Yeah, I did, because I didn't know why it did that. Usually, in any crash, it's like
there's a reason.
You can tell you're about to crash or something. I didn't know why all of a sudden the car was backwards, and that scared me because I was like, "What the fuck happened?" Yeah. And so once I found out what happened, it was my deal. But it ain't like I just threw the shit on there and went up there, raced it. I went to a street and we made 2 hits on it with no problem. But it was a real good hit when we was racing. It was 150 plus mile an hour at the finish line, so that tire got real skinny on that wheel, and it just ripped the screw right out of
the bead. Damn.
And you would think that I learned a lesson out of that. You'd think everybody that's seen that will learn a lesson, but then a friend of mine, Brian Ritchie, not a month later, won a race, and at the finish line camera, he did the same thing. He screwed the tire on the same fucking wheel, and it blew it out. And he didn't end up wadding up anybody else, but it could have been a bad worse. And I hit him up. I said, I showed you don't do that.
Lesson learned.
But,
so
sometimes you want to go race.
So your opinion now, and based on going through that shit, would you do it again on a 14-inch or just put it on a 12, the tire?
Oh, I would have put it on 12 if I'd had a 12.
Oh, okay.
That's the only rim I had. That's what I had. And
that's what I'm doing. It's the tire.
I ain't lying. It was probably like 430 when I screwed the last screw in there. So literally chunk it in the trailer, haul ass. And literally, I met a friend of mine up there on the street where we tested at.
Made those licks.
Yeah, made 2 of them, and the generator and shit was still running when I pulled into the driver's meeting. I told them I had a blowout on the trailer. They knew when I pulled in with that generator running, they knew I'd been testing. But I didn't want to pull up there with the tire that I was already, when I stretched on that rim, I was already like, man.
Pull that sidewall, like, whoa, yeah.
I wasn't going to pull in there and miss somebody else's shit, and not test it. But we made 2 damn good licks. And it, what can I say? I mean, it's street racing. What do you do? I'm sorry, you take, when you line up, it's up to,
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's just one of those things. You want to go race, you're going to race. That's what happens.
I see a lot of sketchy shit beside me. That's a lot worse than that fucking tire.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I'm just like. But you know what? It's good that we talk about it here on this podcast.
Nobody wears diapers on the street.
No,
but I do. But I'm thinking, when you shit them rods out there, believe it or not,
that
you ain't gonna hold it.
That street's gone. You can't.
They don't want to talk about that.
No,
yeah, but I mean, but at the end of the day, like I said, it was one of those experiences that you're like, okay, got to recover, and like I said, you did some forensic investigation, like, hey, this is why the wheel, and like, okay, we're on it again. Let's go.
You got a lot of motherfuckers running around with stock factory studs,
Oh yeah.
Tie rod ends
that ain't for they're for like V6s and shit, not for no LS with all that twin shit hanging on them. And I'm like, God damn. Somebody's gonna die eventually, but
if I can see it on the internet, I'm watching it just because I know some bullshit's gonna happen, and you hope it don't. But that's what everybody wants to see, some fuck up.
It's unfortunate, but like I said,
but it doesn't
hate to see it.
It doesn't happen with drag racers more than it happens with the dumb shits that are intentionally going out there to like that old school shit. Was it the roll racing bullshit?
Oh yeah,
there's a bunch of stock fast cars and. But I mean, sometimes just shit happens. You can't control.
It's racing. It's racing.
It could have been prevented. I mean, you don't know who you're racing that's driving.
Yeah.
Had the other person been a decent driver, it all could have been prevented. I mean, he didn't need to be staying in the gas past the finish line. There was a gap.
You see a lot of that.
You had him covered.
Did you need it for tuning? There was no reason for him to stay in the gas other than his feelings were hurt like motherfucker.
Right.
And he drove that car straight into me, tore up both cars. But maybe he'll learn. Maybe he's a better driver now.
Yeah.
When you get in your feelings, all you want to do is, I can't believe I'm losing.
Yeah.
So with you, when you see a shaky character next to you, he's known for freaking not lifting or something that can happen. What is your procedure that you're like, okay, shit, I
don't even worry about it.
You just
I don't even worry about it.
You can't. You gotta be zoned in.
Yeah, I don't walk.
Stay ahead. Just stay ahead.
I never walk around and look at other cars and shit, because I always I'm like, look, if we're walking around and look at this car and this car, and I look under that car, I'd be like, man, Paul's got a torpedo under there. Then going down through there, if I draw you, I'm thinking, when the fuck is the torpedo gonna go off? I don't even need them problems. So
you gotta focus on.
You just don't want to know.
I don't even want to know about it. So I ain't even worried about it, even though they can drive or not drive, because now there's so many new racers.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like whatever, they're over here in a little Nissan truck with a huge motor in it, and I'm like, I don't know if they can drive or not.
They're holding the turbo with their hand and shit.
I know the tie rod ends on that are this big, so I'm like, good luck. I'm just trying to get out of here.
Got brake pads that big, they got a Nissan truck brake pad. Yeah.
Not to mention
no brakes.
Gay ass bar sticking out.
What the hell is that? I went to Gold's Gym and hey, where's the bar? Where's the weights at?
Yeah, that bar. All that bar
car
is saying is I'm an idiot. Don't know how to tune suspension. That's straight up.
Yeah, they got to hang weight on it. That's the dumbest shit I've seen. That's pretty crazy.
I seen Buck do that one time.
Shit, not me. Not me. Shit, I think that's just that should be.
That's just struggling.
Yeah, that should be something. If that were me and there was a big pot, I would say, man, that's just not allowed. I mean, I know it's on the street.
They've gotten to where they don't allow it in most places now.
It's on the street. They allow it.
I mean, I'm not saying it's an advantage, but I mean, but like you said, it's a tuning thing, and they're just using it for it's a basic Band-Aid.
So the car that started that. Does he still have all that shit on that car? He finally they just took
beater
bomb.
Yeah. And I thought that was a Photoshop.
I don't want to call the name, but that is.
And I thought, why did they Photoshop this swing set?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
But it was real.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. And then he drives down through there in a 140 mile an hour wheelie off to the fucking ditch.
Wheeling.
I'm like, I lost your fucking mind, man. I mean,
but it became a trend for a little while, and I was like, oh man.
But there's still people still do it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got these new racers that are coming up, want to race, and they're riding everybody's nuts. They're gonna put these huge wings on their car, these fucking bars.
Put as much weight on the back as possible.
Weight. I mean, this all the way. They're hitting up all the tire shops for the lead.
Well, and that's the thing that
I guess if you put a wing big enough,
that no front end stuff. That's another thing.
Well, Ryan put that wing on his car so fucking big right there. The finish line, he flipped the car over backwards. I mean, it's like I seen it. I was watching it on live feed. I'm like, I'm thinking, that car's fast as fuck.
He's gonna catch
and he's
air.
got this gigantic wing.
He's gonna
I'm watching
like a
this,
plane.
and sure enough, at the finish line, the motherfucker just flipped. I mean, what did you think was gonna happen? I mean,
Yeah.
Someone-
Someone in the front.
there's a lot of these motherfuckers that are very smart,
Yeah.
but they just as fucking stupid over here.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least get to where you can like adjust it electronically or to flatten it, something.
huge, I mean, yeah. I knew that as fast as that car was, that this is not
It
going
was
to turn
gonna
out good.
happen,
I'm like,
yeah.
shh, we're watching this, you know. And goddamn sure
We're
enough,
gonna watch it unfold.
fly through the air upside down.
This is gonna correct itself. Just watch.
yeah.
But like I
Nobody's
said,
gonna do it again. Watch.
Yeah, those cats, like I said, they got to the point where they're winning money. Yeah, they're winning money, but at the end of the day, man, that trend's got to stop, man, because it's to me,
Some trends, yeah,
it's
some
gonna-
trends.
It's
catch.
a trend. It's a trend. That's all it is. And then it's
Yeah.
just
It'll
gonna
fade
go away
away,
just like
you know.
everything else. It's gonna go
At
away.
the end, it's always gonna go back to a beautiful car with some real suspension, some real tire.
Everybody I've tried to influence that's been coming around and
Yeah,
that's been packing all this weight, I tell them, like, bring your car to the shop.
yeah,
I'm gonna get rid of all the weight. And a friend of mine, Corey, you know, he's been racing for years, and he's always had weight in the car. And he said, "Fuck it." He shows up at the house. I took all the weight out of the car, made changed one bar, set up the shocks,
yeah.
went down there behind my house on 21 there. He makes a hit. He comes back. He's hanging out the window. Ooh, and he drives straight to the house. I told the chick, I said, "Oh, he's happy now."
I don't know one guy that has not played with them damn bars more than you, man.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck with the bars. That's the bars
Well,
in them
just
cars.
the suspension setup, like on your truck back in the day. You were constantly trying to find that right.
Find it. I
And
mean, it's
you
there.
did
I mean,
find it.
Ron builds them shocks.
Yeah.
Like we was talking,
Right.
he'll build you anything.
Yeah.
But them shocks, you buy that hot dollar shit. It's to make the weight of that truck work. The bars are there.
Yeah,
You know, they locate the rear end and shit.
Right.
But them home joint ends will put pressure
Preload
Yeah.
on
at,
it, yeah.
you know, certain spots of that deal. You know, so you use the car's weight,
yeah,
its own weight. It's the weight. They're there for that. You know, you
Yeah.
look at all them
Yeah.
graphs of where the
Yes,
distance centers are
inch
going
of
to be.
center, inch of
But
center,
you
and
put that shit up, people are like, "Oh, don't fuck with the bars." They're scared to mess with bars. You know,
Yeah.
fuck that. You know, I'll be up on it.
No, I mean,
Jacking with that shit.
I
Yeah.
won't disclose that, but I saw enough of what you had done to your truck in previous going to runs, and I'm like, does that really work? And you're like, hell yeah, that's where it's at. That's what I've seen. That's where I'm at, and it goes perfect.
It'll work.
And then you got catch you on TV wherever you've been,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like fucking going rounds and shit. And there's cars that were faster than you,
Faster than me, yeah.
and you were
I've
like, this
been
is
the
why I'm gonna
underdog.
win because they
Yeah.
can't catch me if they're caught slipping. So, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, if anybody's ever messed with suspension more than anybody else,
I mean, like I said,
it's always been you.
you know, now the technology, because if you look it back maybe 5-8 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
the shocks was not an integral part, but probably since then, 5-8 years, dude, shocks
The
have come a
adjustability,
long way,
yeah.
man.
Oh,
And when you get your shock, because I could tell, I told the difference even when I put the shocks
Yeah.
I have on now. Because before you used to have double adjust, so you can do like fucking
Mm-hmm.
5 clicks, it ain't doing shit. Shit, you do a click now on a good shot. It's
You know who I
you
had a
can make
conversation
big
with about
difference.
shocks? The current driver of Bigfoot. They were here in town,
Oh, really?
and they
Monster
were
truck?
Yeah, the what?
The monster truck?
Big-
Yeah, the monster truck.
yeah.
But they were the ones that first started with the shocks, and they did to where they jumped that jet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
Dan
I,
Runty?
yeah, I don't know who
Yeah.
the driver
He was one
Yeah,
of
he was originally, yeah, he was a Bigfoot driver.
So I
yeah.
started talking to him about it. I said, "Hey man, so you know, what do you think about the damn 4-wheeler steering wheel that one of the monster trucks?" And he started laughing about it. He goes, "Man, I don't know how the hell his back don't hurt." And I said, so how did it go when Bigfoot jumped and it went?" I said, "Man, you literally would have think it would have gone tumbling, but the shock settled it really, really well."
I remember them trucks used to break the wheels off.
Yeah.
It was always.
They used to have big
like-
old solid, them big old solid
Yeah.
axles, those big
I mean,
bitches. Yeah,
They still buy
that
a
just shows
factory
you how
tire.
much the suspension has changed.
Right. So there's these big badass shocks they have on there. He goes, "Man, these shocks
aren't they
are-
like were they like nitro filled or they got some other badass?
They
kind of gas in there or
no,
something?
they got oil in them." He said, "But when they go, they
They
blow
pop the
shit
seal out,
all
yeah.
over the place."
Yeah, they pop the seal
But the
out.
technology in those shocks on those trucks is, I mean, damn, I don't know how much it's leaked onto drag racing.
That's a totally different shock, man.
It is. It's a completely different shock, but
because you're thinking about a shock that compresses
but it stays.
But a racing shock does the opposite.
No, it goes up.
Yeah, racing shock you want it to extend.
Yeah.
So it's still the same theory. Except
Right.
That's pretty much where it came from. But even like the, canister style shocks, those are for a high horsepower. If you're making like under 1,500, a non-canister shock will get the job done. But like I said, now they got a shock that's that extend. Before they're like a 14-inch. Yeah. Now they're 17, 18, 19, 20 inches.
Oh man, you see them cars.
The bigger the travel, the more
Yeah.
But race cars are supposed to go down to their low, fast. You never the nose, 2 foot off the ground.
Yeah. That's catching
eventually
air.
You're taking flight. I mean, it's slowing you down.
Yeah, it's catching air.
Something's gonna happen to the top end. Like that Corvette from South Texas. Just the aerodynamics was weird on that car, and it just went up in the freaking air out of nowhere, man. Nobody thought a Corvette Stingray.
I've seen, like in Georgia, I call them where the flying cars are. They're flying.
Yeah.
I've always said to them, I'm gonna call it the get down flaps. Is what I call it. I say if your crew chief on the line had a button that would deploy some flaps on the bottom of the fucking car when it leaves, starts to leave, he hits that button, it pulls it, slam the fucking car back down.
Change the angle.
But they're flying through the fucking air, looking at the concession stand and shit, and they none of them pull the chute yet. I'm like, watch them pull the. They ain't even thinking about that. They're just hanging on, and it's.
Yeah, they're probably because there's been about half a dozen cars that have been taking some flight.
Big time air, yeah.
It's crazy.
I've seen you playing off the line.
Yeah.
But you're so damn comfortable with if they ask you to pull a wheelie, you actually can ride a damn wheelie. Back in the day. With
back in the day. I don't know what the fuck happened to the wheelie. You remember when them news people came that morning?
Yeah.
I was trying to ride a wheelie. I did everything.
Yeah. Couldn't get it.
That motherfucker wouldn't pull.
He had that news reporter in there.
Yeah.
And it was funny because that guy, he had that helmet on. That fucker helmet like was.
Yeah, I started to get that
underpounded.
I broke that motherfucker's neck.
Yeah.
He was looking through the bottom by the time we went down through.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because you're trying to hit because you're hitting a shot of nitrous on it.
Yeah, I was trying to
fun.
Pull a big ass, but I couldn't get that car to wheel that day.
Because dude, they had us go there like fucking 6 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, it was early.
Because it was a news out of Waco, and there was a news report that morning. Yeah, we were there like 5 in the morning, so the track wasn't quite as good. So yeah, he couldn't get a good bite on it.
But in San Antonio, they asked you, right, to see if you could ride another wheelie or something like that when you did the first one?
Was it San Antonio?
Yeah, I think it was San Antonio.
Edinburgh,
probably.
Yeah, we were riding wheelies for Mike's deal, them House of Grudge.
Yeah.
And is that when Mike wrecked his fucking car at the time?
Went over the. I think it was. Yeah, it was.
Went over the guardrail.
Yeah, like that. It was his event, and goddamn, he was testing that Thursday or Friday or something.
I think he was just green on no prep and did what everybody those guys did back then.
He got his car back, but that was shit. That was back in 15, man. That was like 10 years ago, dude. Goddamn.
That's when he took off and freaking does a wheelie. And next thing you know, he's like, "Oh man, they requested for me to do another one."
I said, "Pay me some money." Pay me that spectator money.
Mark Halleck of the Turquoise 55 when they came to do the in San Antonio what was that bald-headed dude freaking
Pinks.
Yeah.
Pinks, yeah.
They brought the camera. They freaking had the boom thing on his car, and he's like, "Man, I'm gonna do a beautiful freaking wheelie." So they captured the camera, the video, the whole thing wheelie, and then they never aired him. And he's like, "What the hell, man? I freaking almost stood it on the bumper."
Yeah, they interviewed a lot of people. They interviewed me, but they didn't air it.
They didn't air you either. Yeah.
But anyway, that was that Pinks. My car had never seen the rain, cold weather. Oh. That morning, it fucking snowed. That morning, going to Pinks, it snowed and it fucking rained and holy shit, it was fucking cold that morning. That Friday morning.
Yeah.
Dude, there was like 400 cars there that day.
Yeah, there was.
That
cool.
Pinks.
That was some cool shit.
That Pinks is coming back on. I think.
That's what I heard. That's why I brought it up. What did y'all have here? Is coming back or?
Oh, I've seen this on Facebook.
It's supposed to be coming back. I don't know how. It's supposed to be a little bit different. Like
it's AI.
I don't know, but no, it's coming back. I just don't know no details. But that'll be fun. That was a fun.
So it'll be the same guy or somebody?
No,
I think that Bruno Massey.
Bruno Massey. He's an NHRA. He's actually a drag racer. He actually races like pro comp or sportsman comp in NHRA, and he's a personality. But he's supposed to host it, which is cool. I like it, and just more that more type of racing channel. I'd rather watch that than other bullshit.
Yeah.
Bachelor.
We're taking the trash out. I'll race you to the trash can. It's
whatever.
whatever we're doing.
Foot race,
Right,
man.
right.
Come
Like
on.
a foot race. Let's go get the tricycles. We'll run on tricycles.
Yeah, mini bikes, RC cars, and shit.
But yeah, man. So 2025 is gonna be good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be back. Give some updates whenever you get some updates in the car. Like I said, so we've been absent. We've been busy. Shit, it's probably been 6 months since we did a show. And
6 months. I tried. I did tell you that one time
Yeah.
I was gonna do it, and then I ended up fucking.
something
Shit
happened.
got busy. And
Yeah, we all got busy.
I started, like I said, I wanted to put a garage in the back of my house, and they didn't allow me to do that, so I ended up just getting a carport, and then I'm like, well, fuck it, I'll rent a garage, and then I'm like, nah. Then I redid the house, and so every time somebody was like, hey, can you go do, I'm like, man, why not? He's building cars. And
Yeah, I stay busy with that, so but I'll make some time. And the other thing was that I got my car going, so that was
then
kind
you
of taking
also,
some time.
you
So
got
I
some
was doing
testing.
that, so which is all good.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I do expect either get some updates. We'll come back, man. We'll get some folks. We'll get Boogie maybe this weekend.
I'm
We'll
a
get
Camaro
some
guy,
input.
so
Yeah.
what can you bring me for the Camaro? When am I gonna see your Camaro out and stuff?
shit, maybe be the best. Y'all should just come out to the house.
No, but when's it gonna go to an event or whatever?
Oh.
When are we gonna see that other Camaro?
Hopefully soon, right? Cause
Well, the Lumina, which is now got a Monte Carlo body on it. I figured it'd probably like about a month left. It's got to go to paint. So once that gets done, then I'll get it back and I'll have to wire it. So it won't be too long. It's really close. The '67.
Yeah.
It's a complete car. I need to have all the.
like update. You said like
I took out all the aluminum because that's pretty much old school still. I was gonna get the carbon fiber interior done and that, and the new struts and just updated steering shit on because it's got some antique ass struts and stuff on it.
Some non-adjustable ones. Some
they are. They're non-adjustable.
Strange. 1989.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I need to just update that shit and then throw.
Motor in it.
Yeah. I mean,
That's gonna have lights and shit. It's gonna have lights. Is it gonna be like kind of like for street friendly, or is it gonna be like more of a race?
Yeah,
more
more
race.
for like racing,
okay.
grudge racing, whatever racing. Most likely I have a blower motor in it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
The old
like
school,
it.
the old school blower motor, or just another blower
The
motor?
one out of
Yeah, injected.
the one that was in the Monte Carlo.
Yeah, I still got that motor.
Damn.
Okay.
Injected. And I've got the truck motor.
Oh damn, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
What the old blower motor? How much power were you making back in the day with that? It was a 427, right?
Yeah, it was.
How much power did you make with that one on that blower?
I took it to Murillo's when it was carbureted on race gas, and it made 770.
And then you had nitrous on it?
I had nitrous on it. I hit it over the head with that. I was spraying 250 on each plate. So I guess you caught 500.
Yeah.
I always say if I'm spraying nitrous, if I say I'm spraying less than 500, I'm lying. 'Cause it's 500
Gotta
or
be
more
something
all
So
the way
you actually had 500 on top of that blower?
on top of the blower, and 250 on each plate.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, that just
It's the way you're supposed to
feel
run
it,
it.
live
Yeah.
action.
No, but I mean it cools the charge and all that.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
why it's
supercharger,
beneficial.
yeah.
Because when you're running gas,
Yeah.
not alcohol in that blower, that motherfucker's getting
Gets hot, yeah.
So nitrous is really just cooling
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It'll melt some shit, which I haven't never melted nothing. So
Yeah.
luckily on that part of it. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, he had my old 55. He had a 420 support. I guess I think a 433, and with the blower, it never failed when they go to San Antonio. He'd run like and it was a 308 car, street cars. He'd drive it. He'd run a freaking like an 1108 or something like that, even dip into the 10. But that second run was never consistent because it would get hot, man. And so the car would just literally slow down. It's like, man.
yeah, that motor was
Put some air
hell
in
of a
it.
motor, man. It
Yeah.
lasted forever.
Yeah, that was. I like seeing that. I mean, to compete against all those other guys that were running around with big nitrous motors and pro chargers. Not many were running turbo, but just to see you come out of the hole and then you run 2-3 more rounds, it's like, holy shit, that truck is.
That's crazy.
He's in there. That was fun. But now you got light cars.
Yeah, that was the earlier Armageddon days. You
Yeah.
took that a couple times Armageddon, the truck up there, Oklahoma.
And it was loud with those freaking zoomies, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the damn thing's loud. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it blew people's hats.
And the burnout.
my dad was helping me in San Antonio one time, and a friend was on one side, my dad was on the other. And my buddy come over, he said, "Hey man, when you went through there and did you burn out? You blowed your dad's hat off." Your dad come over, he said, "Man, he blowed my hat clean up in the colored section." I was like, "Yeah, he's old, you know." So
I wasn't flying.
I watched some of the old videos, man. You'll see them hats flying off there. And I told my buddy that made them headers, and I said,
Zach.
Yeah. So let's stay by the car. So
Have
it
it
be
that angle.
angled just right, you know, because
Have him at the perfect angle.
yeah.
We called Zach Dukes of Hazzard because his
He still
orange
got that.
Charger. Yeah, he still has it.
Yeah.
His dad did all my custom exhaust on my
That
cars.
guy he is something else, man. I mean,
Yeah, they did 3.5 to 4.5 inch Flowmasters, and I told them I want exhaust pipe going to the back. I want to be undercover. I don't want nobody to know what the motor makes, so I want it quiet. But I got the top shootout 4.5 1 chamber flows, and they barely went over the axle, and I didn't have the car lowered because I couldn't lower it. But every time I got pulled over one time because the cop said, "Man, goddamn, we heard you like 3 blocks away. That car ain't gonna freaking be under, you know, open the hood." And I'm like, "I'm not opening my hood. Turn the car on." And there's like 4 of the cop cars. "Turn that shit off. It's echoing." And they sent my ass back home. But his dad was the one that would do all my badass exhaust right there off of South First and in Austin. And they had the big old Flowmaster poster on there. And, yeah. But is his dad still around?
No, his dad passed away.
He passed away, didn't he?
Yeah. But Zach, he missed a lick on his custom shit.
He's still Zach.
He is good.
Yeah, his welding skills were pretty good. I remember when he was going to school for that, and then he used to stop by our place and, "Hey, I'm gonna weld some shit here on the car," and just do little stuff. And then you're like, "Oh, this guy is doing." I know that guy. I know who he is. I know his dad. So that's cool. They're still out there. Down in your area.
Yeah, right across the street from the Hyatt there out in Bastrop. You know, right out after you go through Del Valley or Garfield, I guess. The Hyatt's there, and then his place on the right, which it used to be there all by itself. Now they built these apartments right beside his place. I mean, it's like a wall of apartments. I was like, God dang, but
Stacking on top of
him and his wife there, and he's got all the water jet shit. You know, I mean, there ain't nothing that he can't cut out now. And man,
yeah, I think he had like a 318 motor in it. So we'd go behind Callahan's, and this car was slow on the motor. It only ran maybe 14s, high 13s. Yeah. But then when the faster car would show up, man, what is freaking all nitrous, man? Oh man, but that's what that's how everybody was, just nitrous, just
I was out there
fast.
One day. That's the first time I seen the 55 was out there.
Yeah, because I bought it from it was a muffler shop.
Muffler shop.
It was a muffler shop, but he did oil change too.
Yeah.
Danny.
Danny.
He owns that Need for Speed.
Danny.
They called him Zip Tie Jedi or some shit like that back in the day.
He used to have all kind of good stuff, but so I was friends with him, and I was looking for 55. But looking, I posted on CenTex, the forum that time, and he goes, "I got one." I said, "Psh." And I was looking at a 55 from California. It was a yellow and black, and he wanted like an assload of money. It was a roller too, and it had fiberglass. And
he had money. He always bought nice.
He always flipped shit.
Fast car.
That Nova he had was fast.
He had a couple Nova. There was one that was like a turbo. I think a twin or single turbo.
He's the first one I've seen around here.
Yeah, blue. Yeah, it was a baby blue.
Oh, I thought it was turquoise. Baby blue.
That was a baby blue.
But it was painted beautiful, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so Danny's the one we bought the car from, and he goes, "I got one." I said, "Fuck, shit." So we went up there and looked. I'm like, "How much you want for it?" "Yeah, we'll be back. We'll get the trailer." So it was a pretty good deal. Anyway, so yeah, Danny was the one that got it.
But that's a clean car, man. I was looking at that one time.
It's slick. It's got a chrome moly, 10-point cage. It's still got it's all steel. It ain't got no glass nowhere. Steel hood, inner fender wells. It's got a rack.
You running monoliths or?
It's a monolith. No, it's a monolith with cow tracks.
Yeah.
And it's got radios and.
Y'all know something? I ain't never been on a radio.
You've never been on a radio?
No.
Really?
Man, fucking radio.
Really? Yeah. So.
They're fun, dude.
They're fun, but I mean.
They don't do this.
Yeah, the radios. If you put a radio in the car, if you're at the track, it'll probably pick up a number or two. But and yes, it doesn't do a lot of like a slick, got a little roll in it, but.
if you want to feel like a slick, get like a 295/60, because it's a bigger tire, and then you can get used to that. But because if you run a little one, dude, that thing they don't roll, they don't move, they don't.
Unless it's a rule, I'm gonna stay on what I'm.
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm
I
on,
said
you know. I've heard them radios like you have to pedal it or something. You can't pick the tire up. Like
yeah, because it's
done or
dead
something.
hooking. It dead hooks.
It just hooks.
When it dead hooks and you have to pedal, it's not gonna kind of keep that momentum, if you will. But the thing about radio too is that it is a stiffer sidewall. You got to run like 16, 17 pounds of tire pressure in it.
They last long.
Man, dude, I wouldn't say this, and I'm not saying I drive a lot or fast cars or whatever, but when I say dead hook, they dead hook. Slick's got a little bit of a cushion, and roll, even if you got a tube in it. But a radio, man, it just
you know how you can kind of feel it on.
It just dead hooks, man. But
not a radio.
And at the end of the day, like I said, with the radio, you got to change your suspension. I mean, there's a little bit of things you got to do. So if you're on a slick, like on my Camaro, I had a radio on it, and I said, "Fuck it," I just put a slick back on it because I know a slick's gonna work. Yeah. So I run a slick on the Camaro. 55 is a radio, but radios are, they got their own little thing, and they're fast, but slick can be just as fast. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, slick can
stiff
be
wall slick. I mean, it's almost the same.
You're gonna run a stiff wall. You're gonna run a stiff wall. So. But yeah, so it is what it is. But Danny, is Danny still there?
Yeah,
is he?
He lives there in Bastrop still. He's got he bought some property in Colorado. Oh, so he's been going up there a lot.
Oh, okay.
And I actually just ran into him probably a week ago.
Is that right?
But
I haven't seen him in a while.
He's a cool cat, but like I say, he stays up there in Colorado and he's doing all.
There was a clique group that used to go to Colorado all the time. And go hunting over there back in the day.
So. Well, if he's got property over there, I'm sure he's probably over there all the time. That's no reason why you can. It's legal over there.
Oh yeah, there's manufacturing going on over there. But those guys make some serious money.
At the end of the day, like I said, if he's got land, if he's got some hunting on the shit, I'll probably be able to too.
No, they used to, I had a friend of mine. They used to go hunting over there. They'd run on the street all freaking summer long, and then where y'all headed? We're going deer hunting, and then they come back.
Get up there where it's cool.
Shit.
Yeah. Go when it's Go
where they at? They're not here. We want to run. Nope,
when it's wintertime over there, they're over in Texas.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, man, I this racing this year is gonna be some good racing. 2025. A lot of good things going on. We'll see you out on the track or at the street soon. Keep us updated. Yeah. You got anything else you want to add?
No, just our next podcast.
I say we're back. We're gonna be back.
We're back. I'm lining up some more people. Let your buddies know if they want to come out here. We're recording. We want to fill up at least.
Or we can go to your shop some, but
at least 10, 15 shows for the year if we can get them. Not everybody's busy. Not everybody wants to sit here. And some people are a little embarrassed, a little tight. But hey, it is what it is. 2025 is where it's at. If you guys want to come and sit down and talk shit, you don't have to be famous. You don't have to be the current no prep or the current Little River drag racer.
Expert.
No, just come over here. We can talk about vitamins. We can talk about friggin' your shoes, whatever the hell is your side hobby.
Yeah, like I said, I think before June race, we're going to have Kenneth out. We'll try to get back on with
I miss Kenneth, man. I was supposed to come here and I got all.
We had a chat with him, and he before his last race last year, and
go check it out. It's on our podcast.
Yeah, he shared a lot of good information. About the hood to hood. That hood to hood's like a whole different.
Yeah. Plus, what I wanted to get with Kent was because his dad is pretty much the founder of what Little River was back in the day. He was the one that set up the races. Slim. So every time that I would look up something, and then I found out that it was his dad that was putting on all those races back in the day. So I wanted to dig in. I wanted to ask him some more cool stuff back then. So hopefully we can get him in here.
Of course.
And get all of that good stuff going on. Of course, your dad, he was also a big racer back in the day.
A lot of racing stuff.
So all that traditional stuff, man, that's what we stand for. So guys, man, if y'all been out there running or you stopped running, come over here, man. We will talk whatever you want to talk about. It's just let's make Central Texas famous.
Make it hot again.
Make it good again. Yeah.
It's hot. We just need to get it out there. It's always been hot. Yeah. There's always been races here that's always made, on the street or at the track. Let's just make it happen. But
cool, man.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man. Anything you want to add?
No, we're good, man. Bar none, fade off.
There you go. Bar none, fade off. Like I said, that's represent. I'm sure you're gonna be there. I'm sure you can try.
I try to get there.
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time,
I know you're there every year,
track,
so
you know.
you always got something out there.
Yeah, nothing else. I'm talking shit.
Yeah.
But I don't even have a car here.
I don't even have to have a car here. It's going to be like that entertaining. But so, okay, guys. So the next time, I appreciate it listening.
All right, Chris, thank you for showing up, brother.
And thank you, sir, for coming in, man.
Appreciate
Y'all guys take care. Peace.